Go Yard.
Hello and welcome back to the CFCTALK podcast. I'm your host, Mohammad Soleja, as always, joined by Amart and Alex. So what a day for Chelsea again. And you know, we've lost once in the league to Man City, and now they've done a double over us in the league. And then they're just taking out their anger from last season, when we beat them, I think 3 times in a row in all competitions when Tuchel came in. Tough game to watch. Let me begin with that. And before we even dive into Man City, a bit of a talk about Tottenham and the Carabao Cup. Of course, finalists. We're still waiting for results from the other game. Of course, Jurgen Klopp gets his way with postponing games and having 13 false positives in in the Liverpool camp. What did you guys make of that situation?
Well, he's clearly won the lottery in a figurative and literal sense. I mean, it's more likely, I think, that you get struck by lightning and then win the lottery than getting 13 false positives. So it's pretty dodgy on it from him. But as well, I mean, you see today that the North London derby got postponed as well after Arsenal had one COVID case and a load of injuries and AFCON. Apparently, missing players only really applies to them and not really for Chelsea. So yeah, pretty hard done by that. And I think Tuchel was pretty hard done by that as well. When they asked him, he said he was just going to keep quiet. And yeah, it's just a disgrace, really. It's ridiculous that we haven't had that. We need our own winter break. We need our own little Chelsea winter break because we're done out here. And yeah, but at the same time, I don't know if more fitness would have really helped today. At the same time, City had a week off. We only had 3 days to prepare. So make of that what you will. But yeah, it's just everything in terms of getting breaks at the right time, injuries, is just going massively against us. But there's probably other things we can attribute this result to, though.
Yeah, I think I mean it was at Tuchel tonight. He mentioned it as well in his post-match press conference where he said on the comment of whether there's a top 4 race or they think that Chelsea are a top 4 confirmed team. He said, why should I not look at the top 4? If you listen carefully to what we said, the only thing we look at is us. We played Tuesday and I have no time looking at the table. So he's completely gone from, I guess, every manager saying this, but Tuchel was fine with the pressure of December and of how he had so many injuries and everything until now that he's realizing, okay, no, we need to calm it down now. And it's really unfair. It's really unfair on Chelsea and then the players themselves. Like, we haven't had a single game postponed as far as I can remember, and Liverpool are 2 games behind in the Premier League. They're delaying their Carabao Cup games. Tottenham, I think they haven't played. They've played 3 less games than us or something like that. And yet we have to play every 3 days, which is just incredible how they think is completely fair. And then the worst part is there is no investigation to whether the tests are actually positive or the clubs are just saying there's players unavailable. Look at Arsenal themselves. Apparently they've got the best academy in London. So why aren't they using them for the games? Just use your academy then. But it's like it's one rule for one team. It's a different rule for every team in the Premier League, I guess.
Yeah, seems like it's just I think especially with the fact that we've had no good treatment at all from the Premier League on it. I think that's why, particularly for us, it's just it hits stuff twice as hard. So yeah, it's at least we'll have the Club World Cup coming up, and that's our little break where we get to play some. We still have to play, but we just have to play some. Well, I'm not going to diss the teams from the UAE. I think I can't remember if there's a couple of teams from the UAE
I
leagues
think
playing in it.
this time actually there's a Saudi team in it because they won the
Yeah.
what was the Champions League
Yeah,
this year.
or Asian Champions League,
Asian Champions League,
AFC. Yeah. So we get a nice break, not in games, just we get to play some not as good of teams. So should be all right then. But we got to make it until February. So yeah, it's not a good one not a good look for us. But yeah, at least we have. I mean, injuries wise, it was a weird one today. We played a back five. But then if any of the back five got injured, we'd have to be forced to go to a back four, which I mean we did do anyway. But yeah, injury wise, we're not looking as bad, but it's just the rest and the energy going into each game is just nowhere near as say Liverpool when they get to rest their guys for Arsenal. And even when they do get their chance against Arsenal, they don't even score against a 10-man team. But still, we move.
I think there was only 2 shots in that game. There were just 2 shots from Liverpool that game. So clearly they do need a rest. But we weren't any better today. Granted, it was Man City, a much tougher opponent than Arsenal. Amart, we just kind of struggled to find momentum right at the start of the game. Right from the start, I should say, not at the start, but from the start, we just never got into the game and never looked like a side who could trouble Manchester City.
Yeah, I mean, City practically controlled the game, literally controlled the game from the first minute to the last. I think in the first 8-9 minutes, we had a few glimpses of like being a little bit dangerous, but again, faulty passes from Ziyech, poor control from Lukaku, poor passes from Lukaku. Like it wasn't really. There were some clear cut chances. Like for the Ziyech chance like this, Lukaku was in on goal. Like if you had fed him the correct ball, he would have, or the correct pass, he would have been on the goal. And Lukaku's got pace, not so he could at least threaten or even score. But the pass was way off. And I don't know whether it's because we just started or what, but we just have to be fully concentrated from the beginning to the end. Like you have to be concentrating. But there was so many mistakes that we made in this game. We'll go into them, I know, but like it wasn't good. That first half was very, very hard to watch. Very, very hard to watch. Like we after 10-15 minutes we're totally out of the game. We just defended. We were just defending every wave of attack that City threw at us. We're trying to defend, trying to hold, and we're also giving them the ball. Like if we have control of the ball, then we're giving it to them. We're giving it back to them. Like we didn't know what to do with it, so you take it. So I don't know how best to explain. And Alonso as well, man. Alonso in the first half was just. In the second half was a little bit better because I think Tuchel was very, very angry with him. Was a little bit better, but it wasn't that much better. In the first half,
he's very lucky he plays on the left-hand side because if the manager's dugout would have been on the left-hand side, he would have gotten a punch from Tuchel. Every time the camera panned to Tuchel, he was on his feet, ready to just fight whoever was going to come down the wing because he was angry tonight. And I genuinely thought he was going to go into that dressing room and just pick a fight with every single one of these guys. He was very angry tonight.
He was screaming at Sarr the most in the first half. He was screaming at Sarr the most because he was giving the ball away too many times. He was doing well in blocking. Who was it? I think was it KDB and then Foden. He was doing well in blocking Sterling as well, I think. But he was just giving the ball away too many times. I don't know why. And he was just sending the ball out of touch. And you could see clearly that Tuchel was angry with him. And in the second half, he was, like I said, some of these players in the second half, they were better, but they were not that much better. There was just a little improvement, but it was the same old that we got from them. And yeah, disappointing first half from the team.
I think before we get into Alonso and the defense and batter them for their performance. Let's talk about Lukaku. Someone who's this is going to be a long conversation.
Basically, what Mohammad said was, before we batter the defense, let's batter Lukaku first.
No, because I thought genuinely, even though we weren't the best in defense, it wasn't as bad as the front three tonight.
Yeah,
just embarrassing seeing Pulisic, Lukaku, and Ziyech play the way they did tonight. What was that? Ziyech and Pulisic were nowhere to be seen, and go ahead of myself and say, at halftime I was expecting Tuchel to go, yep, this is not working. Let me just bring on Werner and Mount, and pair them up with Lukaku, and he didn't even do that.
Yeah. First of all, why did Mount didn't miss? Why Mount? Why is the Mount was on the bench? I don't understand why he was. When he came on, you could clearly see the difference. But even him, when he came on, I think his first pass was also bad. He was trying to feed Lukaku in, and there was an overhead pass, and he just went straight to Ernest. I don't know why, but after that, he was also very, very good. I don't know why he didn't start. When I didn't see him on the lineup, it was weird. I was like, okay, trust Tuchel and see what happens. But the front three, there was no attacking threat from any of them. Like Ziyech was making a lot of good touches on the ball, like dribbles on the ball in the midfield before he got to attack. But that final pass was always off, always off. And Pulisic was always getting fouled. I don't know. He couldn't stay on his feet, get the ball, try and dribble one, get fouled, and then that's it. Like. And Lukaku was just lost, man. He was lost. He was lost. And it's weird. Have you guys noticed how the fans have now like there's no patience for Lukaku anymore? If he does badly, if he does poorly, everybody just says it as it is. Because he put it on himself. So he's not going to get that treatment from Chelsea. If you are bad, you are bad. And he was bad today. He was really, really bad.
Yeah, man, we should just be like limited to 32. Like we can't spend any more than 30 million on any signing because, yeah, we haven't had a good 30 plus million signing or 32 million plus signing in goodness how long, forever. Not to disrespect Kai Havertz yet, but.
Sorry, let me add this. Lukaku made 9 touches in the first half. 9. 9 touches in the first half. 9.
Yeah. Just
he had what 7 misplaced passes. His passing accuracy was 50% or something like that, and he lost the possession. Like I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, our front three combined lost possession 21 times. 9 by Lukaku, 6 by Hakim Ziyech and Pulisic both.
This match, yeah. That's crazy. There was a tweet I saw at the end of the game. Did you guys? Okay, when the game ended, I changed the channel. I wasn't going to watch anything else. When the game ended, referee blew the whistle. I just changed the channel. But I saw a video on Twitter where him and Kevin De Bruyne had this kind of handshake, this kind of bro handshake thing. And then there was a tweet on it that's the most movement he has made of the whole game.
Yeah, give us De Bruyne a hug at the end. That's the closest that you got to him.
That's the closest you got. And it was just a bad performance from him and the other two supporting him.
Honestly, sorry Alex, but the front three was just disappointing tonight. And look, would you blame Tuchel for it though? Could you say, okay, Tuchel should have realized that this wasn't going to work, this combination of three? I know all three of us, our predictions were way off from tonight, because I don't think, firstly, me and Alex both, we didn't expect three at the back. We were all like, look, Silva has only had 1 training session after being positive for COVID. It's highly unlikely he's not going to play. We've played so well in the 4-2-2-2 formation against Spurs for the past 2 games. Why are we, risking playing players who are not in form? And then I looked at the lineup and I went, what is this? And the worst part was, as you go down, I'm like, okay, Mount's going to come up next. Mount's not there. Why wasn't Mount playing tonight?
Yeah, like I mean, the thing is, it's double-edged sword. Like if he had kept with the 4-2-2-2 and then we lost, everyone would be like, "Oh, you should have just kept it for Spurs," because we did do it just for Spurs because they use a back three as well, and it's just kind of a way to stifle them. But yeah, I don't really know whether I don't know if I wanted the 4-2-2-2, but whether it would have made a different result completely. I mean, you've got one more, I guess, with that, you'll have one more attacker. Yeah, you probably have room for Mount if you go in the 4-2-2-2, but then you have to play Alonso as a left back instead of a left wing back. So it's like you're going to leave yourself a bit more defensively exposed. Yeah, you pick your poison. Do you want less attack? Or do you want Alonso at the back? So yeah, it's what do you do, right? So yeah, that's pretty frustrating. But I totally get your points, though. I agree because it's between them. Pulisic. I mean, it's just like when we go into these games, we want the Ziyech to turn up. He's the Ziyech who scored, like he's been clutch for us against Man City before. He'll do something. We want Pulisic. We want post-pandemic Pulisic to kind of play and do well, but it's just annoying. We have at the end of the day, we've got moments players, and right now in attack, I mean, at least Pulisic and Ziyech are moments players, and Lukaku, he doesn't even have the moments, man. He's got none of that. He doesn't even have the moments. So yeah, I personally don't want to see Lukaku's face anymore and I don't really want to see him playing much because ever since that interview, I mean, even before he was, he's got a bit of bad luck with COVID and injuries. But ever since, man, you'd think he'd be doing absolutely everything to try and make it right. And he even said that he would, like, he'd indicate everything he said indicates that. But on the pitch, man, not been happening.
I like how on SofaScore, I'm just scrolling through a bit of the stats from the players, and you just click on Lukaku and it just says big chances missed 2. No other player has it except him. He just says big chances missed, and it's just 2. Yeah, I mean, we can go all night and have this discussion on Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech being poor and not, supplying service to Lukaku and not giving him the passes that he needs to finish it off. He's 109 million. In a game, he should be able to create 1 or 2 chances. And that's just purely creating, even if I'm not even saying he should be scoring 1 or 2 chances or he should be troubling the goalkeeper. Just create 1 or 2 chances. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, 0 key passes tonight. 0. His numbers, it's just 0. It just says 0. It's just a bunch of zeros in a vertical line is what I'm seeing. Ground duels, 0. Aerial duels, 1. 0 out of 8. And key passes, 0. It's everything is just...
He's in the Matrix. It's like you're looking at the Matrix right now.
Ones and zeros.
Yeah, just ones and zeros everywhere. It's nothing. Oh man.
No, the thing, Ziyech, to be honest, up in the amongst the front three, Ziyech was probably the least worst among the 3. But the passes were so bad. The end passes, the final passes were so bad. But the ones that did get to Lukaku, he did nothing with it. Like nothing at all. And we usually cross the ball. Today, nothing. No, did you guys remember any crosses going in for Lukaku? None. No crosses going in for Lukaku. They were coming from the middle or the left or the right. And when it gets to him, then he passes. The thing I didn't understand with Lukaku was you are the main striker. If Pulisic or Ziyech passes the ball to you, you're supposed to progress the ball forward. Then you pass the ball back to Kovacic or like, why? Why are you doing that? You are the one supposed to take the ball forward and you're bringing it back. Like, man, this game, I watched the full game throughout. In the second half, I was spacing in and out a bit because our performance was very, very bad. But he was doing this so many times. Gets the ball, then passes it back to either Kante or Kovacic. Like, why?
It's one of those arguments where there is no explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not even an argument. Let me just clear that up. It's not even an argument. It's just a pretty much clear discussion that all three of us are having, that our front three is non-existent at the moment. But Alonso isn't helping either. Let's jump onto that before we go into some of the positive or not even the only positive the only two positives I can see is Kovacic and Rudiger and Aspi on here. But Alonso, let me remind you, when you guys see this episode, we're halfway through January, and we still don't have a left wing back. Digne has been signed with someone else. Kieran Trippier is no longer available. The two players that me and Alex we were talking about a few weeks back. What is Tuchel doing? What are his plans? Just leave that blank open.
He doesn't. At the end of the day, he's not the guy saying, "Oh, he's not the one responsible." At the end of the day, it's Marina. So it's not really his fault, I don't think, to say out as the reason to why. Apparently, Tuchel even refused, turned down Digne. Apparently, read it on Twitter for a couple of semi-reliable people. But yeah, maybe not. But yeah, it's annoying. You see the rumors like Sergino Dest and a couple of others, but we just need someone who can defend a little bit better than Alonso. And at the end of the day, I think it's just going to hurt so badly if Tuchel isn't back properly, because I know it's difficult in January, but we just need someone to come in and give that competition. Basically, if we can do like a Giroud style signing from find someone who's like that, who kind of wants to leave their club, left wing back, just find someone who can defend, get them in, because that's Giroud is pretty much the only January signing in recent memory that actually worked. So yeah, please.
Also interesting to note that Tuchel's pushing quite a lot, or I don't know what the news is at the moment, but Tuchel has been trying to push to re-sign Emerson. He's been quite impressed by Emerson.
But he doesn't want to come back.
And it's not even Emerson, it's just Leon. I think Leon going, no, we're not going to give you back.
I don't think Emerson himself wants to come back, to be honest.
I would, as a player, I would come back. If I see on the news and if I hear from a manager saying we really need you, it must be a sign of, okay, we're gonna use you. It's not like we're gonna bring you and put you on the bench. The reason we're calling you is because we've got someone who barely can track up and down the wing, and you're the only option we have right now.
So what happens if Chilwell recovers? Then
I mean,
Emerson again.
But you have to realize that you've still got another 6 months without Chilwell at least until June. So in those 6 months, you're going to use Emerson. And if he plays really well, are you not going to be saying, let's sell Alonso and keep Emerson rather than sell Emerson or loan out Emerson and keep Alonso?
I mean, you see, the thing is that as a player, you have to put yourself in his shoes. He's playing very, very well for Lyon. The way he's playing for Lyon, he hasn't played like that for us. I don't think he's played like that for us ever. He's playing very, very well. He's getting good numbers with them. And he's okay. Granted, yes, he's still contracted to Chelsea, so he is obliged to come back. But you have to understand from his point of view, he wants to play. He wants game time. He doesn't want to come in and be competing again with, because if he comes right now, he's supposed to be good, right? He's supposed to replicate what he's doing in Lyon at Chelsea. If he comes and doesn't replicate that, we are going to bring Alonso back again in the mix. So it's up to him. If he knows that he's coming to replicate that, come and do it. But like for me, I don't blame him for not coming, because right now it seems like there's a little bit how to say it, things are not stable at home, and where he is, things are very, very stable. So he probably doesn't want to come and enter.
I hope this is not going to turn out as something like Lukaku said on his interview. What
did he say? He said a lot of things. What did he say?
I'm just saying. I hope whatever you say doesn't come off as what Lukaku said on the interview. I've just opened Twitter, and the first thing I see is a gif of Reece James and Ben Chilwell, and someone's just saying, "Oh, what would I give to have these two back in the team?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, come on, trust me."
Yeah.
It's
just so with if Emerson was going to come back, like say for 6 months, the second Chilwell comes back in, bam, you're gone, man. And he's it seems like he's settled in where he is. He's playing he's pretty much played pretty much every single game in Ligue 1 for Lyon this year. So he's probably quite happy, or he is quite happy there. So to kind of throw it all away, yes, for a world-class manager who really wants you back and you'll probably play. The second Chilwell comes back, like Amart said, you're dusted, man. You're gone, and you've got to find a new club again. And it's like, I think, and probably Leon wouldn't want him back if he's just snaked them off to go play for Chelsea again. So it's just, as much as I'd like him to, and also it still doesn't make any sense to me, because I know maybe I don't know how, if Emerson's like it become twice the player he is or so, and that's why Tuchel for some reason really wants him back. But we put this guy at left centre back, I think, at some point, didn't we? Or was it Alonso at left centre back? Yeah, it was Emerson at left centre back, I think. Just so we could play Alonso at left wing back. It's clear that when Emerson was at Chelsea, Alonso was
he was second fiddle. Yeah.
So why all of a sudden, as maybe Alonso just is kind of demoted, or I don't know, he's just, they've got some beef with each other or something nowadays. He's just like, no, I need Emerson back. But Emerson ain't going to solve our defensive problems at left wing back. And he's all right, but he's not the guy to solve our problems. At the same time, do you want to spend 20 million, 25 million? We just, again, like you say, I think the theme of this podcast is pick your poison, because we have so many different poisons right now on so many poisons in different cabinets in our kitchen, and we have to pick one from every single cupboard, and that's where we're in right now, man. Because Emerson is I just don't, why. If Tuchel wants him though, and if Tuchel's going to play him, go for it. But just someone who can do. If we can just get someone who's half the player that Ben Chilwell is at left wing back, sure thing. But yeah, because right now it's just this back three the lifeblood of that back three is Reece James and Ben Chilwell, and we just miss them so bloody much.
And they're also the lifeblood for the front three as well.
Yeah, literally.
They are like, not just for the back, they're for the front as well.
Ben Chilwell had a lot of us. He was playing. I mean, we all know how good Reece James was at crossing, and now that would definitely help out Lukaku with scoring some headers and just being a great target man. But the same for Chilwell as well. Chilwell's a fantastic crosser, and Alonso is too, I'd say, to an extent. But it's just Alonso just doesn't run very well back towards his goals. So, we really are. It's just a different kind of poison, isn't it? And Emerson, I'm not.
There was some. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'd rather spend it on some upgrading our medical facility, so it never happens again ever. Just they're like the greatest. Spend that 30 million services, Dest on a really good hospital.
Bring back Eva.
Yeah, pay Eva like 30 million or 200k a week, and we'll be absolutely fine. Like no problems at all forever.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like
we hire Mourinho for a fourth time, and then
and then he.
Okay. Be careful, Alex. That's gonna get clipped. Just the part where he says rehire Mourinho. Just clip that 4 seconds, and then just paste it with something Tuchel out, and that's it. It's enough to blow up the Twitter.
Yeah, because Mourinho himself is not even having a good time at Roma like that. He's not.
Yeah, he's
bring back Tammy. That's how we bring back Tammy.
I think the whole Mourinho train and him winning titles is now over. I think he's going to have to get over his tactics and rebuild his style of play if he wants to get somewhere now. Because these new managers, Tuchel, Conte, they've refined the game with the back three and wing backs and with Guardiola pressing and all that stuff. Like tonight, I don't think there was a single minute of the game where Man City sat in their own half waiting for Chelsea. Every time we had the ball, they were continuously pressing us, and that's where Chelsea made a lot of those errors, which they pounced on. One of the positives from tonight was or at least looked like a positive. Rudiger, who usually plays on the left hand side, played on the right hand side tonight.
Sorry for that. Like, I just saw something and it's just funny. Like, you remember that a crossfield pass Ziyech made, the famous one that he made in Ajax
against us, was it?
Do you know Savage Dan? You know Savage Dan?
Is this the NFT tweet?
Yeah. He said Chelsea paid 40 million for this NFT.
And it's just that the video went viral of him doing that crossfield pass. And it looked great, but it's like, we paid 40 million.
Oh man. man.
Yeah, so it's the NFT that we got.
Oh, bro, man.
No. Yeah, going back to the positives, other than the NFT, I'm hoping the value goes up though. The NFT value goes up though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy it and then we can get a great left wing back.
It has to.
Yeah. It's not looking good though, Omar. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't you guys miss Willian and Pedro in what games like this?
Dude. Like, it's funny. Because
the years we've spent, the years we have spent saying we need so much more better than this, to now sitting here and going, oh, Willian scored that amazing goal under Conte at Man City. Pedro's run down the wing against Man United.
Listen, I love Pulisic, Captain America. I love Ziyech the Magician, but Pedro and Willian in their current form, I'll take them over these players, to be honest. In their current form, I'll take Willian and Pedro over these players, because you know what you're going to get with them. You really, I'm not saying they should come back to Chelsea. I'm not saying that. I don't want them back at Chelsea. Their time is done. It's done. I'm just saying that with the way they're performing nowadays, like, I would take a Willian and Pedro over them, but we just have to hope that these two improve, and I'm praying that they improve, because if they improve, we would have, man, I don't even know what to say.
At the end of the day, Willian and Pedro, at the age of hudson-odoi and Pulisic, they're still Pulisic's 22, and this is more of an age excuse, but they were a hell of a lot better than Willian and Pedro were at their ages. It's just annoying because we have a lot of these guys around that age, and we kind of need, particularly in attack, it would just be nice if we could just pluck a world-class winger out of the cabinet somewhere, or a world-class attacker we could just sprinkle in there. And that was supposed to be Lukaku. And he's just
it turned out to be Lukaku.
Lukaku, exactly.
I'm going to keep doing this joke every episode I see him.
Yeah, until we see him again, until we see the real Lukaku again. But yeah, we just need, you can't be relying on, I know because so many people hype them up, and hudson-odoi's played well when he's had the chance recently. But yeah, it ain't enough. If we're going to keep up with Man City, you need to have hudson-odoi's and Pulisic in rotation, but they're in rotation. They're not the guys that you're relying on. So we kind of forget about it when we go on the wins and go on decent runs. But yeah, another... it's supposed to be Kai Havertz to some extent as well, because I mean, our best front three I'd say right now is Havertz, Cho, Mount. But for this game, I definitely would have started Werner. I know we're going to decide so, but Timo Werner is, if you could build a player to play against Man City, Timo Werner or pick a player to play, or pick a team to play against Man City, I would have Timo Werner on it, even my ideal 11, because his pace is just so good. You know, he can't finish a dinner, even if he was starving. But it's like, his pace is just so valuable, and it's so suited to Man City. He is one of the big reasons we won the Champions League, because he managed to lure out the defenders for Havertz to go through. And it's just,
And he won't be at one place too as well. He won't be at one place. He'll be on the right, the left, the middle.
Yeah.
He'll be just so it makes it very difficult for defenders to mark him. But with Lukaku, it's very, very easy because he can't go left, can't go right, it's in the middle. So you have to be progressing ball more. You have to be taking your chances more. But he's not doing that. Like he said, for me, even when the game started, in my head I was just like, there's just a simple three attacking choices whenever we're playing City. There's Havertz, Werner, and Mount. That's it. Don't go anywhere else. Don't pick anybody else. Just pick these three. They do very well against City, and let's do it. But this combination was sorry. Muhammad is trying to move us to the positives, so we just keep.
No, I think
we can talk about positives. It's okay.
It is the negatives which lost us the game tonight, so pretty much better to talk about those. Just before we move on to the positives, one thing that I'm unable to understand is the reason behind Mason Mount not playing today. And I know. Let's not get into because Ziyech would have gone behind the ball, whatever. I don't care. The performance these two put in, Mount was a lot better than them, and he played 10 minutes
when he came on. Yeah,
and he played 10 minutes. So imagine Mount over the course of 90 minutes against Man City with Werner.
I think it's a bit of hindsight, to be fair. You can never know how these guys are going to perform. But at the same, I mean, and Ziyech, I thought recently he's actually been pretty good.
No, but we know how Mount performs. We know how he does in games like this.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily thinking, Mount won't do as well. It's more, I think it was more like thinking, Ziyech was fantastic in a couple of games against Spurs. So they'll, you're playing a good one against City. But it just didn't. But Pulisic is the one that I don't understand, and I'll be on your side for, because it's just don't get it. Pulisic just, the great performance against I don't know, great performance, but fantastic goal against Liverpool. But other than that, no real reason to play him. So Mount definitely should have been in there instead. But,
and wasn't Pulisic playing on the right today and Ziyech on the left? Really? When they were supposed to be playing on the opposite sides.
I think with Tuchel, what he likes to do is invert his wingers quite a lot. So a lot of the times you'll see them switch for a bit and then come back and then switch. Because initially, I think Ziyech was, you're right, Ziyech was on the left.
Yeah, and Pulisic was on the right, and it's supposed to be the other way around. So that in itself was a mistake in the first place. So I don't know why that happened, but
I think we could spend the whole night talking about the three ghosts of Chelsea.
Man, so many edit ideas have come through in the past half an hour. We got like kitchen cabinet of all different poisons. We got ghosts of Chelsea. What next, man? We got so much. It's coming away.
I think the only two positives, Aspi and Rudiger first half against Grealish on the right hand side. That was a good battle to see. The commentators point out. Also on the point, I'm just jumping on my seat for this because on the point of this, didn't Jim tonight in commentary, Jim Bickle, just say empty had?
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. He did.
I heard that, and I do the tweets on the podcast account for the minute by minute tweets, and I'm sat there and I'm hearing him, and he just goes, the atmosphere is great at the empty had today, and I kind of just pan to that. I'm like, that doesn't sound like something a commentator would say, and he corrects himself, which I'm like, okay,
You have to remember that these commentators are also fans. I think he's a Liverpool fan, if I'm not wrong. I think he is a Liverpool fan, but he clearly doesn't like City, and he has called them empty had in his private chats before. So You just forgot.
It's one of those things where you write it so much while you're texting to people that the autocorrect corrects it itself. So instead of doing the Etihad, it just changes it to the empty had. But no, it was quite funny. But yeah, Grealish was well dealt with. I think in my opinion by Aspi and
Yeah.
Vertigo, considering Asby's age and he's playing at a wing back position. Alonso, track back, please.
You see, like the thing that I keep saying about Alonso, because of his pace, he always needs help to take care of these kind of players. He can't do it on his own. Sterling was beating him left, right, center in the first half. I think Sterling switched to the other side, and Alonso got a peace of mind for a while. But anytime he switched back, Alonso couldn't keep up with him at all. He just kept fouling him, and that was in the second half. It was just bad because Sterling, instead of working on the left, he was cutting in, so he was even beating Alonso even more. And yeah, like you said, in the Aspi and Rudiger did a fantastic job stopping Grealish. Really, really good. Like Grealish himself, for me, I would say Grealish is their version of Lukaku. In a way, he's a little bit upgraded. Like he had all this hype around him, was come to do this and do that and do that, and he hasn't really lived up nowhere near to his performances in when it was at Villa. And yeah, and so I wasn't really expecting much from him. But he's one of those players that if you give him the chance, he's going to create something. He's going to score or create something. There were some chances where I thought he was going to kill the ball in or something, but I don't know. This new version of Grealish passes the ball instead of attempting to take a shot. And it helped us. In the end, it didn't really help us that much because we still lost. But in those instances, I was happy he didn't take a shot or he didn't do that. So yeah, but they did very, very well. Aspi and Rudiger were fantastic.
I think it was pretty clear until right after halftime when Man City came out and they realized, look, the right hand side, Chelsea are look pretty much stacked up with those two in there. Let's try and do something on the left hand side, and which is when we saw a lot more of Sterling going behind and create chances right after halftime, in which we were actually creating a few chances. That's when we did our 4-shot streak. And then we gave up after that again.
It was a quick succession. It almost seemed like when they went to halftime, Tuchel said we haven't taken an attempt on goal. So when they came in, they were like, okay, let's take 4 quick attempts on goal and just relax. Just wanted to make the coach happy, but it was like you said, short streak and then relax the game.
Just clip that and say shots taken on Chelsea's shots. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say other than Rudiger and Aspi were pretty much good in terms of the way we defended tonight in overall as well. I think Tuchel was quite impressed as well, even though we let that goal in. And I know we're going to talk about Kepa and whether Mendy would have saved that goal or not, but it's a it's just yeah. Other than that, Kovacic as well, positive performance from him. A few passes to Lukaku, which was the big chance that he missed. Let me just make sure everyone gets that. But yeah, I think Kovacic generally has been playing really well for Chelsea the last few games. Created some key passes, and he had some great duels that he won both aerially and on ground and everything as well. And yeah, I think Kante, please, Kante. This is probably the only time I'll ever say this, but I wish you put in your foot for that tackle with De Bruyne. It was a half tackle, and then De Bruyne got away, and he just took a shot, and he does what he does against Chelsea every single time.
He always scores from outside the box, man. Why? Why always us?
Even against, exactly, Echa. Oh.
Yeah. It's a joke, man. But yeah, I'd say right now, Kovacic is our best midfielder right now. and it's Kante it's pretty harsh on Kante, but it's just like Amart said, I think before the podcast, he's still coming back from his injury. He's been rushed back. Like, he shouldn't have played against Tottenham. So it's not going to be on that. Not going to say anything too dramatic on that. Really, it's just Kovacic right now he's playing. He's never played better for Chelsea than he is right now. He's just so dominant and carries the ball up the pitch. So yeah, it's just a shame that no one else is
doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Other than Kante to some extent can do what he can, but you expect a lot from that wing back as well. I mean, but Alonso isn't really someone who dribbles up or drives the ball up the pitch. Neither is Haspi. So yeah. Moral of the story, we missed Georgie, yeah. We missed Georgie, yeah.
I was gonna add in, we missed Jorginho quite a lot, even though Kovacic was good in midfield. Kante was good as well. Georgie, it's like it's all come around. It's all come a whole full circle where the players that no one liked or people said we should sell them back. We were talking about Georgie leaving, everyone leaving. Whoever we said should leave has now just come up and shown up for Chelsea, except for Alonso, Barkley, and a few others. Drinkwater. Yeah, I mean, Jorginho he's been a star player for Chelsea this season, and I guess we've just been hit with Georgie being missing, and then Reece James being missing, Ben Chilwell being missing, a few of our defenders as well here and there getting injuries, and it's just gotten to a point where there's not much Tuchel can do because he doesn't have a lot of options to play with. It's where he had. Remember when at the start of the season we were like, who should we play? You've got 4 options in this position, 4 options in this position. Now it's down to just you play him or you just change the formation, and it's like, what do you do? Which is causing issues. And I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this, but tonight I think Tuchel was a bit poor in terms of substitutions. Should have done them earlier. Should have done them when he realized them. I know he spoke about this a few games ago, and he said we've been unlucky in terms of getting injuries right on the pitch as well, where we've had to make substitutions based off players' reactions, not based off tactics or purely based off the way players are playing. But tonight that wasn't the case, and I would have thought he would have made those key changes early to try and get a grab of this game. But I guess the first half conundrum wasn't enough for him to be like, we need Mount, we don't need Pulisic.
I think it was fine. It was 0-0 at the end of the day. No shots, no problem, man. Kind of bits on the ass again, just like it did when we played them at home. We kept a clean sheet, I believe, until or was it actually? Oh, my memory of that game is hazy. Did we concede in the first half or the second half of the Stamford Bridge Chelsea Man City?
Second half.
Yeah. So same kind of thing where we just like cruise a bit. We don't really have that much intensity, and then they do us. They just kind of keep going in the second half. Whereas, it's just a real shame that Tuchel couldn't make those subs earlier. I really did. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. But Tuchel really could have done better and because he can do it. It's not like he shies away from halftime subs in general. We've seen it in the past, whether it's Hudson-Odoi subbing him off at halftime, or he's definitely capable of a halftime sub. But things just weren't bad enough, I guess, to do it. And then he didn't really. Maybe it was just that we were pretty content with the 0-0 at the empty had and thought, we'll roll with that and see what happens. But just to really, at the end of the day, the buck stops at the guys who missed our chances. Romelu Lukaku had 2, missed 2, and I don't blame Tuchel badly, but he, just like everyone else on the team, they contribute. They did all contribute to the result.
Yeah, I mean, you could say Lukaku missed far too many chances.
We have so many title ideas.
I'm trying.
So
I'm
many.
not gonna lie. I'm trying to be positive here. There's not much to be. It's just
Can you hear my dog barking?
no.
No.
I don't think we can so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was muting myself in and out. He's barking right next to my window. I don't know why he's doing that. So, all right, sorry.
Even he's angry at Lukaku, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
No one's happy with him right now, man. Yeah, but we can go on and on about Lukaku, but we were talking about positives. So only a couple of minutes ago, and now it's flowed. Conversation flowed into.
Let's go and be more negative now, I guess, and talk about a bit more about the inconsistencies. Amart mentioned this right before the podcast began, and he said Lukaku, was it Lukaku that you said?
Yes.
Ziyech was so inconsistent in terms of performances for Chelsea. I can't seem to find a single Chelsea player right now who's been consistent in attack, at least in attack.
Kovacic is our best attacker, man.
No, as in
yeah, you're right.
No doubt. In midfield and in defense, we've had Aspi, Rudiger, and Kovacic, and Mendy's been decent, I guess. In attack, we've got Kai Havertz, Romelu Lukaku, Timo Werner. I won't count Mason Mount on this list because technically he's a midfielder. He plays up with the front three. Pulisic, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi. I can't remember if you put in a good shift against Tottenham or not, but we're so inconsistent. We don't have 3 or 4 players who step up every game. We don't have the Hazard that we used to have at Chelsea,
Exactly.
or Diego Costa, or Willian.
Yeah.
Nah, man, don't talk about consistency and mention William, man.
No. I think what Mo is
as in step up for that game or the big
we
games.
We don't have players like that. Willian in games like this, you see him step up. You see him try and make an effort. You see him take chances on his own, like take players on his own. But with this, it just seems like everybody just gives up. Like once it's like the whole team gets defeated at the same time, and everybody stops trying at the same time. Like in terms of the attackers, the defenders do their job and they do it pretty well. And today, just funny that shot came in, and you can't stop a Kevin De Bruyne shot like that. Once you give him the chance to take the shot, it's going, it's goal bound. But like with the attackers, like they all, I don't know whether they share one mind or whatever it is, but when Lukaku is out, it's like they just decide that, okay, this team is better than us. This team is giving us problems. Then there's little effort. There's nothing at all. Like what he's saying, Hazard wouldn't do that. Hazard would take the game on himself. Like Hazard will try and make chances himself. Okay, like Hazard would be like, okay, I'm passing to Lukaku. Lukaku is not making good use of it. Let me go in myself. Let me try it myself. Let me do it myself. Like we don't have players like that anymore.
Yeah.
Diego Costa used to be like that. Like Diego Costa, there were some games where he wasn't getting fed the ball from midfield at all. He always came like if in situations like that, he came to the midfield, won the ball, started an attack, went to the end of the attack and finished it. You see, like we don't have those kind of players. We don't. And it's very, very sad that we don't have that kind of. I think Dami or somebody like that. I think Dami made a tweet with that mindset. But yeah, we don't have that kind of player. We don't. And it's very, very sad for me to say. I don't know when we'll have that kind of player. I don't know whether it's a new caliber of player thing, but City clearly have more than one. They have Bernardo Silva, they have Gundogan, they have Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling at times, Mahrez. Like they have players who can take
Foden.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have 5+ that can easily do that.
Yeah,
all can finish amazingly, and we just can't.
Exactly. In our team, I'll say the only person probably close, not that same level, but probably close is Mount. Like Mount is the only one that you see that he tries to make certain things happen, and he didn't even start. So
it's the case. Sorry, Alex, but it's the case of where there's a difference between, or not. I guess I am more than happy to allow a player to have a bad performance if I can see that they're trying to do something.
Yeah.
Once you see, like Amart said, those players that we used to have before in these positions would step up and bring it on themselves to put up a performance to, win games. We don't have that at Chelsea. And what's worse is that we don't see anyone doing it right now. Who in today's game was or looked like would have stepped up if they ended up getting going, or if Chelsea had some momentum? No one. No one was there in specifically the front three. I'm not talking about the rest of the positions. No one was there to step up and say, okay, I'm going to take the game into my own hands, do something incredible here, just win the game for Chelsea, or at least draw the game for Chelsea at least.
That's the thing, though. Those players don't come cheap. At the end of the day, we have to just we have to find a world-class, game-changing winger from somewhere. And I know we can't really mention a name. I mean, we'd say Chiesa before, but probably not now. I mean, he's not had. He looked great against us, but he's not been scoring that many.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's really the thing for what we need. So, at the end of the day, what we're asking for is Eden Hazard is people in the 2018-19 season, and we don't have that right now. And that player cost £100 million when he had 1 year on his contract left. So really, what we're really asking for is 150 or 150 million pound winger who's going to go and change the game for us. Basically, can we sign Jack Grealish off Man City? But yeah, that's what we need. We need £100 million winger who's gonna change it and flick a switch from us. But they're not a dime a dozen anywhere. You can't. I mean, I'd say maybe you could say Vinicius maybe, but Man City are looking at him as well as bolster their attack through him. So yeah, it's other than Vinicius and I don't know, or by Hazard and maybe he turns out good again. I genuinely cannot think of a prolific winger or really super creative winger that we can just put in the team and solve all our problems. It just isn't going to be anywhere near as easy as that. And it's Tuchel's next great mystery that he's kind of got to solve. He's had us 12 months to kind of fix up the defense and turn us into this magic clean sheet munching machine. But now it's gonna, I mean, it's sad to say, but it's gonna depend. I think it'll depend. His job will depend on it. I think eventually, not short term, but long term. If he's got somehow, he's a genius. I'm sure he'll do it. But he's got it's his next thing. It's our attack.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's even worse when you look at the comparison between how much we've spent in defense over the last couple of years compared to how much we've spent in attack. And then you kind of think, how has this happened? The amount of money that we've spent in attack, you would look at it and think and say, yes, this attack is world class, or this attack should be scoring 2-3 goals a game. When that's not the case, when it's the defense who's been keeping Chelsea into this run of form that we had before, we lost to West Ham, and everything went downhill from there.
We do have a £70 million keeper that we could talk
Well, that's a great transition, because I almost forgot about him. Not forgot about him, but I almost forgot about people on Twitter trying to have a debate on whether Mendy would have saved out or not. Let's get over it, guys, and let's stop comparing the two, and let's just fix the other issues in the team rather than create new issues. Because he's filling up the shoes really well so far. 2 Tottenham games.
Alex, do you want to go first?
Is it a 2v1? Is it a 2v1 boxing match right now?
I just have to choose which side I'm on.
The thing is, for me, I'm not comparing the two of them. I'm taking Kepa individually, like the way he performed today. I'm not comparing whether Mendy would have saved it or not. There were some things that Kepa did before the shot, like his movement before the shot. If Mendy did that same movement, he was also not going to get it. He wasn't going to get it because the shot completely beat him. He thought Kevin De Bruyne was going to place it in the right, so he took a right step before he went to his left. So that's already taking him a little bit off the shot. And we know how good Kevin De Bruyne is at placing shots in the side net, or whatever it is he picks out. So I'm not really going to compare them. The movement was wrong. We've seen Mendy make certain movements like that, and it has cost him. So it's a typical goalkeeper thing. If you move wrongly, you miss the save. And then for me, like I don't even know. I can't blame him entirely for the goal. I can't, because it wasn't just him. Even though he started it, because it was his clearance that went directly to the City player, and then they started the attack. So his clearance already, I think it was from pressure from the City attacker. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Foden or something like that, was pressurizing him because of the passes that they were making at the back that were throughout the game that wasn't working, and they kept doing it for some reason. I don't know why. And then he kicked the ball out and went to City player, and then he came back. And then Kante, like you said when we talked about it, like Kante should have taken him down or made a tackle or done more to win that ball off him. But Kevin De Bruyne is also not a bad player. He's a very, very good player. He's a world-class player. So even though Kante is also a world-class player, there are two world-class players going up against each other. So he knows how to wriggle his way out of it. And he still has those memories of the Champions League final. So he knows what Kante is capable of. So he got the best of him. But yeah, Kepa's movement was wrong for that goal. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. His movement was wrong for that goal. I'm not blaming him for whatever it is, but he could have done better with this movement.
Yeah, it's just what we've come to expect from him. Really, is he has those weaknesses. He has that weakness in the technique of where he saves shots, and it just comes back to bite him. It's just this known thing. We know that he doesn't save long shots that well because of that poor technique. So yeah, it sucks when you come up against Kevin De Bruyne on the edge of the box. So yeah, what do you do? Yeah, I'll agree with you in that. Yeah, it's not just his fault. It's just it just doesn't help at all that he has that bad technique, because you have Kante who could have put a foot in, and other defenders could have tried to stop him better. But yeah, it's just what you accept when you play Kepa. I think at the end of the day is long shots. You really have to do your best to cut out long shots, because we know he doesn't save them that well. So yeah, it's you got to criticize him, but it's like you can't. He's not going to change. So, and he's still going to play. So, yeah.
Do you guys remember the advert Messi did quite a while ago? It was with Pepsi. With it, there was this ball that these kids were controlling using a phone app or something like that.
I see it. You have to describe it to us.
It was a Pepsi ad. I can't exactly remember what it was. It was a Pepsi Messi ad where the kids were controlling the ball using an app on a phone and trying to do tricks on Messi. And it's the case when De Bruyne gets the ball. That's basically what's happened. Someone's just sat in the stands going, De Bruyne's got the ball. We'll just, on the app, they just flick it towards the corner and it just does it, and it just goes and does the thing. Because yeah, I genuinely don't know how that went in. Genuinely don't know, because we had two layers of defenders right there, and I thought, oh, okay, that's probably going to go wide, or it's going to deflect out wide.
Wide. Sorry, whenever I hear that word.
I mean, Pep saw the memes and he took it personally. He has beaten us twice this season already, so I don't know that you want to continue the meme. You'll see it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
At the end, you got to sit here and say champions of Europe we are. That's the only game that matters. No one cares about the other game. No, it's gonna be nice to get off that Champions League win against City and then actually win against them in the league. And then
it's all we have now. It's all we have now. We can do anything about it.
Sorry.
We don't play them again this season unless maybe.
I mean, as in next season or next time we meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
At
Alex.
least, at least we can say we beat them 3 times in the season. They beat us twice. So we
Three
still
times in like a month or 2 months. I think.
Wait until the
Yeah.
FA Cup rolls around and we've got to play
Yeah.
them.
The other thing, man, we've done like literally against the Manchester clubs as well. Like Ole, we weren't able to beat Ole at all during his spell, and that hurts. But in the FA Cup we did, and we beat them quite convincingly. So when we get to Wembley against City, we tend to normally show up. So I'm confident if we did play against them this year, hopefully around FA Cup semi-final is around April, March time. So hopefully we'll be back to a game a week. So we should be should have more energy and be fresher for that. But yeah, it is nice that we don't have to play City again. We've gotten both our home and away games against City and home and away games against Liverpool out the way now. So really we should be able to get on a pretty decent run of form and at least it's going to be weird. I mean, you could say we're fighting for second, I guess, now, because title hopes are done and dusted unless something bad happens to City. But yeah, just fight for second, really, and hope for the best. Because I think Liverpool still have to play Man City.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, they still do. Yeah. So it's, so they'll be able to take, or Man City hopefully will be able to take some points off them. But yeah, it's just nice to get those two out of the way and we can kind of really get into the results end and trophy end of the season. And normally we come in quite clutch at this time of the year. Like December is our kryptonite, but then we normally come into our form from now to the end of the season with maybe a bit of a dip in February time, I think. There's always a little dip again, but we come in clutch when we need to, and that's why we win trophies almost every other year. So confident. It is nice that we don't have to play them anymore, at least.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Other than that, just before we wrap up the episode, just a bit of news about Lewis Baker going to Stoke City. Good luck to him there. Played really well against Chesterfield, was it? I think in the cup, and we're guessing this is because Chelsea had to sell a player to register Kennedy back because he's come back from loan. Not sure what his role is, to be honest, right now in the grand scheme of things where nothing seems to be going right.
If Ziyech has the pass NFT, then Kennedy has the Elastico NFT from 2018. That's what we're relying on, man. We're relying on that completely.
Yeah. The other kind of not very big at the moment. Not a lot of people speaking about it, but Rafa Benitez, who seems to be in trouble at Everton, looks to be heading out sometime soon. Speculations of him getting sacked before they play Villa, I think, is it their next game? And hopes of Frank Lampard replacing him there, which is going to be a big challenge for him as well, and an exciting one as well. Going to be a bit sad to see him come at the bridge and lose, of course, to Chelsea.
Yeah, it's good though. We want him back in a job. We want him back in the Premier League, and it's just weird that for him to try and find the right job for him. I understand if he doesn't want to go to a relegation team and then go and get relegated. Not great for the CV, but he's got to take a job somewhere. And honestly, I don't think he's going to get a better chance than at Everton right now. Yeah, Everton's not doing that great, but yeah. He's got to. Plus, it would be, how good would that be? Your first game in management for Everton, and you're playing against TVG. That would be nice. That would, yeah.
It'll end all the debates of the greatest Premier League player.
Yeah. No. You know what will end it? So 3 years' time, Lampard's still in his job at Everton. Steven Gerrard becomes Liverpool manager, and then you have the Merseyside derby as the Lampard versus Gerrard. I actually really hope that happens. That would be the best thing ever. But yeah, that's a dream, I think.
Yeah. No, it's a great job for him. I think Everton's got a good squad. Just not enough of, I guess, compatibility with each other at the moment, or the way they play is not working out. In terms, because I mean, Richarlison Calvert-Lewin. He will be a bit disappointed that Lucas Digne had to leave.
Yeah.
Which is
To be fair,
gonna be
Digne
quite
hadn't
big.
played much this year,
Yeah.
but there would have been,
I think with a fresh
probably
manager, he
went
might have
back.
played because I think he didn't. I think the issue with Digne at Everton was mostly because of a player manager issue rather than more of a performance issue, from what I can remember. So I think if Lampard or someone else would have come in, would have maybe done something. But that's all speculations for now. It's been a long day for Chelsea fans. Spent 2 hours watching a game which was wasteful, and then discussing a game which made it a lot better now because of the company, I guess. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening, and make sure to leave a like, rating, subscribe, comment below what you thought of Chelsea's performance, and what you think we should be improving on at the moment, and whether we will sign a left back or not this season, or this window at least. But yeah, that's all from us tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.